to the water meter real quick, just to clarify. We never actually stated that the initial request for the water statement to be updated, we won't be changing the bill, correct? Am I in agreement? We all in agreement with that? Okay, the bill will not be updated because the meter is good. So yeah. All right. I just want to make sure we had that clear and stated. All right. Before we stop, Mike.
Sandy was going to be here tonight, but I sent her home early since the snow. But anyway, you have 2 sheets of photos in your packet. The first sheet should say November, December 2010, which is the way the corner there, the L&L looked when the issue was brought to our attention. And then you have a follow-up here in the first week of January where they cleaned the line of sight violations up. So Sandy just basically was going to come and tell you that the line of sight issue has been taken care of. She's been checking it pretty much every day and verifying everything's still in good shape, and it pretty much looks like the second sheet of photos right now. As far as the 4-way stop, that's more a police department issue. The chief can comment on that if he wishes, and allow the council to go from there if they want to proceed. Chief?
As I stated from the start, we've experienced very few accidents over the last 5 years at that intersection. And a lot of these line of sight was parked vehicles that I contacted initially our codes enforcement officer, so she could be working on that part of it. You still got the offset of about a lane at that intersection. Whether or not that's justification to need the 4-way stop, that's a toss-up. At this stage, I think that if we can keep the vehicles in compliance with what the ordinance says, that the line of sight problem will probably take care of itself. And the need probably for the 4-way stop is going to probably be diminished.
I will say I drove through there a couple of times today, and you could really tell a difference with all the vehicles being moved, and you could see much clearer through the intersection from the directions. So, does anyone feel as though we need to move forward with pushing for a 4-way stop, or just continue to follow the ordinance with the line of sight? Okay. Thanks, Chief. Well, thanks, Mike. All right, the budget expense inquiry, Marcella.
I provided a short memo outlining Mr. Alderman Wright's question on the consultant fees. And as we do some of the grant writing and this and that this year, there'll be expenditures hit that particular line item. I provided this evening a detailed history of what has hit that expense this year, so that you can see just exactly who's been paid what and the adjustments that were made in that account. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Mark, Lloyd, any questions? Okay, we'll go ahead and move forward then with old business. We have the Lake Bonita documents that have been provided in the packet, as everyone had a chance to review, and it looks like for tonight's purposes, it's just for discussion. And it looks like we've had information. We've had both Larkin has reviewed this as well. It looks as though they reviewed it. And then Algier Martins also came back and reviewed it. The original engineers, as well as CAT Excavation, has provided an estimate of their work. It looks like it's everything outside of labor.
And the exclusions.
And yeah, the exclusions, if there's anything broken or bonds, permits, things like
looking over this information, I'm inclined to say that, you know, unless there's more forthcoming from Alger Martin, you know, what's provided here is quite simple and not detailed at all. You know, based on what we had received from Larkin in 2009, and comparing that with, you know, what Alger Martin has submitted, you know, it's missing a lot of detail. And then based on the feedback that we have gotten from our engineers with regards to this information, it's deficient in many areas. So you know, I cannot recommend moving forward on what Alger Martin has provided here based on all of the deficiencies that are noted in this memorandum. And it looks as if, you know, CAT's bid is based on the information from Alger Martin, and there's not even really drawings here. I mean, it's very deficient. And it specifies many areas that have been left, not even noted. Types and sizes of materials, and you know, a geotechnical report, and actually it mentions further down that basic city requirements aren't even met with regards to this plan. I mean, this plan. It's not sealed. It's not. I mean, I think I don't know if there's more forthcoming from them, you know, and without talking to the mayor, because this is addressed to him, and without having an opportunity to talk with him, based on what's right in front of me, this is not enough information to move forward with any action on this particular document, in my opinion.
Is in here as well, based on the discussions we had as far as how much financial backing Alger Martin is going to provide based on them being the initial engineers as well, as has been stated. So there is lacking that detail from Alger Martin, and based on the letter from Bill Cunningham with Larkin, there's, similar to what Lori is stating, there are a lot of deficiencies that we need to make sure that we go through the correct channels, get all the proper people to review it, get all the proper permits, and go through the correct people to make sure it's inspected and done correctly. So, not that it wasn't last time, but there seems to be some issues based on some of this with some of the soils that were used in different places that may have caused some of this issue.
And the collar also, you know, was something that was listed as a probable cause of some of the issues that the dam, you know, exhibited. So, and then in this memo from Alger Martin, it discusses the possibility of constructing a concrete collar, where in Larkin's report it's listed that it should be done. So, you know, I would propose that unless there's something that we haven't received and seen yet, that we move forward with our engineer and their report on this, and that, you know, we address the issue of this dam based on, you know, full information that is, you know, with line items and specifications for materials, and I mean, this is not a full report as far as I'm concerned.
Point well made. I don't believe this could be a construction document.
It's not.
I know, I've worked for architects and engineers. I know what CDs look like. So, I'm not sure that this engineer has even, you know, we haven't brought this to his attention, that sealed documents, construction documents with design and development phase also should be provided if that's how we go forward. So, although the city engineer that is on board now has suggested this, and I agree with him, I think this should also, I see nothing in here that would make me think that this has been communicated to Alger Martin. Did you?
I wasn't with the mayor when he spoke
I
with Alger
wasn't either.
Martin, and.
So what I'm doing is
so
reading
I
this,
can't.
so I don't see anything in there.
I mean-
So if this is our concern, I would say we bring it back.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I just think that the bidding process is premature. And I mean,
I think you're right.
This, you know, this, while I appreciate their efforts to put some numbers to this, it's,
Well, it helps as far as giving Save Lake Bonita a
Mhm.
chance
Right.
to have an idea of the types of funds that we're looking at needing to do that.
Yeah, and what I'd like to know is this Algiers Martin final? Is this what
we don't know that.
And see, I don't see anything that says that I should think it is. What I see is I went through a walkthrough. This is what I discovered. This is what I believe would do it. This is typically what you would go to as a proposal as an architect and you wouldn't go full design development, not until a contract is awarded. You then do that, then you do construction documents. That is how the phase works, but not until it's determined that that's what you're going. I'd like to know what Alger Martin is proposing as far as, are they talking about doing construction documents for this as their part of this? I don't know. It's not in here. All I see so far are drafts, and this is what you would do typically before you go into the design development phase.
To me, it's a rough draft.
Correct.
It's a rough draft to provide us and the Save Lake Bonita group a better idea of expected expenses.
Correct.
And so with this proposal, you're looking at a minimum, and that's if there were no additional costs for the engineers or any of these other additional costs listed in the exclusions, you're looking at $11,000.
Right, and I
And
believe our
still-
engineers already said they would not do the design and paint. So, really, we need, so we know that that is going to be, the engineering fees are going to be on top of that. And I believe their proposal was somewhere around $350,000. Isn't that a number that's been thrown around?
367,000.
See, that's pretty close.
460.
Yeah, see, we'll put it up to 500, just for fun. So, that's what they're proposing. What I would like to see is how much of that is engineering, and then also, I'd like to see what Alger Martin is proposing.